So you're going in for an F1 student visa interview, you've got your I-20 ready, and you're trying to figure out how you're going to explain your financial situation and who your sponsor is for your studies. Hey, what's up? It's Krista, the former visa officer in your corner. When it comes to the F1 student visa application, not all sponsors are created equally. And today I want to talk to you about the hierarchy of sponsors and how visa officers think about them so that you can appropriately plan your case and your interview. The most common and normal way of sponsoring your education from the point of view of the visa officer is for your parents to pay. If the case is that your parents are paying for your education, you're on a more typical visa application path, but you do want to be prepared to explain what your parents do and how they're able to afford this. If someone in your family who remains in your home country is paying, you want to explain the relationship there. Why would a non-parent pay for your education? Whether it's a parent or a non-parent in your home country paying for your education, you want to emphasize that they have the liquidity and resources to pay for a U.S. education when asked how you're going to fund your studies. You don't want to just say their name or say my father or my uncle. You want to make sure that you add details as to how they're able to afford this. Now, some people present a situation where someone else is paying for their studies, not a family member or a close friend in their home country, but rather someone outside of their home country, like from a church group or a close friend in the United States, or even a family member who's living in the United States. When your sponsor is in the United States, you really need to figure out how you're going to present your visa application. Having someone in the United States who's willing to pay for your education is a sign to the visa officer of a strong tie in the US. So let's say someone from a church group has decided to sponsor your education so that you can come to the US to study. You want to refer to the money that you'll receive from that person as a private scholarship. That is essentially what you're receiving, and it elevates the relationship in the mind of the visa officer. If a family member who lives in the United States is paying for your studies, you want to make sure to double down on explaining why you intend to return to your home country and that family tie in the United States isn't going to retain you in the United States after your temporary studies. So as you can see, sponsorship is not just as simple as explaining the name and the job of the person who is going to be sponsoring your studies. You need to get ready to figure out how the visa officer is going to interpret your sponsor and how that's going to impact your F1 student case. When you have a more complicated sponsor, I really do recommend getting a visa consultation so that you can figure out the best way to present this information. Follow me here for more tips on the U.S. visa process and leave your questions in the comments below.